Okay, hello. Um, well, earlier on, I did an introduction of myself and the topics that I'm going to be talking about in this channel. But what I'm going to do is not just focus on one issue. We're going to look at every aspect of this issue and, everything really, just everything. But it's important that, we stay focused and look at what's going on and how we can deal with, because we're going to be focusing on the stalkers themselves, the way that they had been focusing on us. Think about all the feelings that they want you to feel and wonder why anyone in their right minds would want to make you feel that way. Okay. Um, Currently in the United Kingdom, the laws that covered stalking does not stretch far enough. They still is focus on one type of stalking and less on the other type of stalking. When you look at different charities that deal with stalking or any of those helplines, they do not cover or deal with stalking that involves more than one people. There's a lot of stigma towards somebody that says, "Oh, I'm being stalked by a group of people," and so I think that's where the problem lies. Is the fact that online on the internet there is lots and lots of people talking about gang stalking, and we know that all of these blogs that's been written are probably not actually accurate. We know there's a lot of made up stories, and there's this issue that it could be well be that the people, lots of different people who are stalking or have harassed someone in the past would go online and make a blog or write something or do something because they want to carry on with this myth. They want, because in the UK the laws, there is not enough laws that covers that. In fact, there is no law that actually focused on that type of stalking, to say that, well, when two or more people stalk, it is wrong and the law will be punished. And I think because the law kind of conveniently ignores that this goes on, it had allowed it to develop. It had allowed criminal entities, people to think that they can operate underneath the radar. Charities that covers, I can name a few. There's quite a few. They tend to focus on, well, we're only dealing with partner stalking, or we're only dealing with, which doesn't cover anything really, because we know that, that doesn't, there isn't a lot of that. However, because of the fact of there's a lot of people condensed in somewhere, there is a lot of harassment, borderline stalking, and criminal antisocial behaviors going on, just in every different sections of society, whether it be working class, whether it be rich or poor. And the law really lets down people that are being stalked. And I think that throughout these weeks we're going to have to look at that, because we just want to make sure that what's being said is facts, what the law covers, what the law does not covers, how you deal with it, how. And the big question is, if the stalker wants you to feel like a fool, does the stalker want to isolate you from society so you don't feel like you're equal to them? When somebody wants to make you isolate you from society or make you feel like you're not equal to them, then they have failed. And if you ever feel like how somebody wants you to feel, then they've won. And so, it's an issue for them, because when you decide that just because somebody's stalking you, just because they say something or do something, does not mean that you have to absorb that. Because all these words that I'm going to mention, stupid, insecure, low self esteem, narcissism, mind games, low self confidence, the bigger fool, scared, it's them that are feeling this way. It's the person or persons harassing, tormenting, or trying to persecute you that are feeling that way. Because when somebody starts to behave in those ways, you know that something had gone horribly wrong in their lives. And how do you start to feel when you know that you can feel that somebody's distressed, somebody's disturbed? You feel pity for them because you cannot understand the reason why all this increased focus on you, all those feelings that they want you to feel, and that's the reason or the excuse that they are wedging and deriving such a focus on you. It's how we can't. There's no doubt. There's no confusion about who is feeling that way. The moment somebody does something or say something towards another person that hadn't done them anything, it means that that person failed themselves. So the moment that that focus of hate, that wave of terror is directed towards you, it means that they failed themselves. And they could have gone through some kind of trauma, they could have gone through some kind of abuse, and because of that abuse or because of that trauma they've experienced within their families, within their lives, something has gone wrong. When somebody pretend to be one way, nice, kind, friendly, um, and want to create like a facade of like they're hardworking or something, some kind of facade, you know that, but deep down they're probably a member of a gang. They have criminal connections. They are drug dealers. There's some really strange stuff going on within the family. They are connected somehow to, and and there's a lot of people like that within a society. So society functions in like a double, you know, surface, inside, like an inside outside, on the top, on the bottom. And so, when somebody focuses that evil, negative energy on you and they pretend to be one way, then you know that this is really how society works. Because there's so many things that are going on, things that organizations are aware of. And the day that they would come forward and say, this is what goes on, this is what we know of, this is the knowledge we've got, then it would really release the pressure. And people that are going through a certain kind of stalking can come forward and say, this happens to me, that happens to me. Then they can say, yes, we are aware of such things because this, that, and that is available through the black market. Somebody can get that. And there's a lot of criminal activities going on underneath the surface. So, I mean, we have a lot of time to have a look at all of these issues. We want to really examine what do they have available, what organizations offer in terms of what they offer, for victims of crime, what they offer. If you say this is the kind of stalking I've experienced, what they offer, what are some people aware of? What do they know? Because what we notice is that there had been a lot of focus and a lot of laws being written, a lot of laws, especially